Bam. Rich in the words of Assalamu alaikum, which means peace and blessings be upon you. And I mentioned both Jesus and Muhammad's names, peace be upon them both, because they were both messages of truth and reality. You're looking at the Underground Railroad. We come on every Saturday night at 10:30 to say hi to the people in Canada, the United States, Central America, Mexico, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Australia. I don't know why Alderman Jones, he loves to say Australia. But you know, you're looking at the Underground Railroad, and we're going to talk about alternative lifestyles of really gays and homosexuals to get a different view. There was someone named Venus that was supposed to come with opposing view, but I guess she figured that she couldn't take it. Maybe circumstances came up to where she just didn't want to feel comfortable doing it. And I'm going to have my guests introduce themselves, and I want to thank y'all for coming on Underground Railroad TV show. Please.
Thank you, brother, for the great honor of being on your show. Walaikum salam. My name is Brother Wali Muhammad, and I am a student of the divine teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the leadership of his minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, I commend you for allowing me to be on your show. My name is Dr. Nehemiah Russell, an educator and human rights activist.
Okay, and I want to talk about, you know, I was going to first start out to say, you know, send out a thanks to all these athletes that are politically conscious, like Muhammad Ali, Jabbar, King James. They're politically conscious. And there's some that aren't politically conscious. But there's some other day, we'll talk about them. But I want to ask you something about, you know, President Obama. Once President Obama got elected, I would like to know, what was y'all personal perspective? Because by the time this shows, he might be out of office. But was y'all elated when he got elected? It didn't make any difference. Y'all always knew who y'all was anyway. So,
well, my brother, I would say this as a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under his minister. You know, you got to understand what you see according to prophecy.
Yes, sir.
And if you know prophecy, Jehovah, God, never integrated the slaves with the slave master.
Yes, sir.
He never did that. He always said, come out of her. Separate yourselves from your enemy. Because he wants to chastise the enemy and cause us to be escaped from that chastisement.
Yes, sir.
So the rise of President Obama, who, by the way, my teacher points out, was selected before he was elected,
yes,
was again another trick to make us think that America was okay. It's okay. Come on back, guys. It's okay. Look, you got a black president there. See? Mm-hmm. It's okay. Mm-hmm. He said this, my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he said that they dress us up as mannequins in the window of democracy. Mm-hmm. So you look good, but you don't move your own arm. Mm-hmm. You look good, but you don't speak for yourself. Mm-hmm. You look good, but you don't think for yourself. Mm-hmm. So you just there as a attractive device to draw us back into a system and a way of life and a people that God is against. Wow. And who have tormented us all the days of our life ever since our fathers set their feet on the shores of this country.
What was your feeling about President Obama getting elected?
My feeling was this, is that I realized that no one party or one man would change this, particularly Obama. He does not have the background nor the levels to deal with it, sir. He's put there as a puppetry government, sir. It's already rigged, sir. He's acting a certain way. Now, what has happened, sir, in this situation, I doubt very seriously whether a large mass of African Americans will ever vote for an African American again, because this man had such a dismal record when it come down to dealing with African Americans.
Why, I'm going to go on to same-sex marriage after this question. Why is it that President Obama has come out to help people of Latino, Mexican descent about the same dream, the DREAM Act? He's come out to help the gays and homosexuals. And he's come out to help other causes, but the word black towards black causes has never come out of his mouth. For most people say, this is America, he can't do that, but it's okay to come out in unison with the gays and sympathize with them and love them. But he ain't showing love towards his own people. I'm talking about verbally. I'm asking. He has not used that word. But he's used other words towards other races and people that live alternative lifestyles verbally and made it hurt. Why? Why is he doing this like? Okay.
Well, you must bear in mind, this gentleman may not even perceive himself as being African American, sir. Tiger Woods had the same situation, sir. They have the hue of this, sir, but he has the so-called level within, sir, to make him go veer to his European American level.
Wow.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has stated that I think a great percentage of his administration, upwards to 60%, are Jewish.
Then Ron Emanuel used to be in his cabinet, I
Remember, they were saying he was the first Jewish president. See, so, you got to understand politics. He who, pays the piper does what? Call the tune. We didn't support him financially.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do we think that he is obligated to us? Because he looks like us?
Yes, sir.
Our brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, has stated, has a good heart, and he means well. However, in between his good heart and meaning well, there are members of other communities, particularly Jewish, who are in between him and the people. So they make sure that that good heart never reaches the people.
And that's why he didn't come to Michael Jackson's funeral, sir. That was a Jewish level there, sir. And also, for the time he's been in, sir, he's never stepped foot in the largest parade of African Americans, the Bud Billiken Parade, sir. He won't come, sir. And believe it or not, the African American gang youth, they love him. Really, he could go out and speak to those young GDs and Blackstone Rangers and maybe have some level of effect. But he won't do it, sir. He stay away, sir, like a poison, sir.
Well, as I talk about same-sex marriage, why? And I voted for him. And I don't really too much believe in voting. But why would he come out in support of same-sex marriage?
They gave him money, sir.
And persuade the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, to implement it and make it the law of the land. Why? I didn't vote for him for that reason.
But you got the bad mind, sir. As he stated before, sir, you have to pay the person, sir, that brought you to the party, sir. They brought him to the party.
Brother, America is the enemy of God. Only God's enemy would take that which is forbidden and make it law. See, we're so naive. The Bible says we war not against flesh and blood, but principalities and spiritual wickedness and powers, right?
Yes, sir.
In high places. Well, how higher do you get than when you sit in the seat of the President of the United States of America, who is the world power? And it's the highest office in this land. So you are, in effect, the world ruler. So you are the world ruler, and now you sanctify, justify, and make law that which is contrary to God. Who does that but the devil? Who does that but Satan? We're so naive because we think that Satan is some spirit, some spook. But I'll say this to the Christian audience that's watching. The book of Thessalonians says what? And that day shall not come until the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, the man of sin. Not a spook, not a spirit, but a man whose heart and mind is against the will of God. That's why you can legislate same-sex marriage, and the clerical bunch, the theological bunch, the people who teach religion are so weak. So weak, you won't even stand for God, which makes you unworthy of him. Hey, if the salt of the earth has lost its savor, what good is it except to be trod under the foot of man? You can't even speak up no more.
Yes, you know, two questions. I had to say this, and it's bugging the hell out of me. Why? I'm not a Catholic. Why would the Pope that is in Rome, come out and say, we have to be more tolerant of them? Two questions. Why would a person that goes to church and reads the Bible and their book makes a condemnation against the act say, it's all right with me, but the very book that they say that they love and they care about, they might as well throw away their damn Bible. You understand what I'm saying?
Because let me say this, brother. Let me say this. See,
as long as they don't mess with
he's
me.
saying you have to be more tolerant because you don't understand what all is making people feel this way. There's no such thing. You was a woman in a man's body. God doesn't make mistakes. Maybe what the Pope is saying, since you can take a drug for this and then they'll say in the fast part of the commercial, side effects may produce suicidal thoughts. This is what my teachers teach you. So if I can take a drug that's supposed to help in one area but make me want to feel like killing myself in another area, you mean to tell me I can't be a man taking a drug and begin to think that I should be a woman? That's why the Pope may be saying you need to be more tolerant, because the people are so unaware of the chemical warfare that's going on in the earth. The water, the food is so toxic, so poison, that you can take a drug for this and they tell you, if you feel like killing yourself, stop taking it right away. Call your doctor. What the hell you mean? I took the pill to feel better, to get strength what was afflicting me. But then you say, well, I help you get strong here, but damn, you might want to jump off the building here. You better call me. This is sickness. This is madness. This is chemical warfare. Yes, so you got to be tolerant with people like that.
The downsizing of medication, sir. On well, it make you well. Another part, it make you neurosis, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'm going to ask you in this way, why would a person that go to church every Sunday, go to the synagogue every Sunday, know what's in their Bible, and say they believe in their Bible, and they turn around and make the statement, they all right as long as they don't mess with me, but the very Bible that they read, it makes a condemnation of that. I'm asking both of y'all.
They don't know the Bible, and they don't know the man of the Bible. Did not the Pope go down to Central America and apologize for slavery? Yeah. Did he do that? Yeah. Well, why would you do that, Pope? Because the church ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. Yeah. That's why they could do that.
That's okay.
So the church can apologize for making you slaves, but Jesus didn't make you a slave, because he's trying to say, look, what the church was doing is pretty far away from Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So the people go to church, the people don't know the power of God. They're not acquainted with the real Jesus Christ. The Bible is a tampered book, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote. Tampered, and must be reinterpreted so that the falsehoods that have been added to it, you won't be snared by them. Yeah. So you don't know the Bible. You can read it all day long. So what? Yeah. There's a passage in the Bible where Samson was traveling, and he ran across the carcass of a dead lion. God don't make bees to make honey in the carcass of something dead. But unless you got a man that God has raised up, you'll never know what that means.
You'll come,
Sir,
okay.
sir, the book is being rewritten as we speak, sir. And even with the story about the Noah's Ark, sir.
Yes, sir.
I wonder how all those animals were able to get on that ship, sir. And you got to do a fecal matter in urination in order to exist, sir. Could you imagine all that toxic material, sir? What type of septic tank do they have, sir, to remove these toxins from the ship, sir?
Yes, sir.
And where did you go to catch all these animals, sir? The elephant,
Yes, sir.
the tiger, the lion, sir.
Yeah. Now, how can I'm asking both of you, how can a person go to church, go to the Quran, go to the synagogue, you know what, after they get through reading their Bible, reading their Quran, they go and get a 40 ounce, they go get weed, they go get marijuana, and they sleep with somebody that they did not marry to. Do they believe what they really say they believe in?
Brother, you keep dealing with the effect and not the cause.
Okay. Talk to me.
You dealing with people who are, as the Bible teaches, like sheep.
Yes, sir.
You're dealing with people who don't know the truth. And that's why God charges the shepherds, those who are supposed to teach. Woe to the shepherd. See, what's a woe? What does woe mean? Not like woe horsey. Woe. What does that mean? So you're dealing with people who don't know the truth. Let me put it to you like I heard my teacher say one day.
Yes, sir.
He said, why would a thief take you to the police and then rob you? He said a thief don't want to take you to the police. He take you as far away from the police if he going to rob you.
Okay.
He said, why would a man that want to make you a slave take you to God and make you a slave? Hey? So you're dealing with people who don't know.
Sick.
This is why in the Masonic language, I'm going to be quiet.
Well, sir,
You got the
why you gonna roll,
5%,
sir?
you got the
Continue, sir.
10%, and the 85%. The 5% poor righteous teachers, 10% bloodsuckers of the poor, and the 85% poison swine eaters who believe that God is a mystery, who don't know the law of cause and effect. So you blaming the effect and not the cause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, and now I'm going to go to Bruce Jenner. But go
Yes,
ahead.
the implementation of these laws are very confusing, sir. They might as well let Dufsky out. They might as well let that priest out over by St. Agatha Church out, sir. If they believe that report, sir, let them all out, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, you got Bruce Jenner. I don't know if y'all familiar with Bruce Jenner. He used to be an athlete that won at swimming or something like that.
He was an Olympic athlete.
Olympic
athlete
athlete that won. And what happened is he wanted to transform himself into a woman. And he did that. And he is being embraced by Hollywood, by the make-believers. What did y'all think about Bruce Jenner thing, and should he be glorified?
But Hollywood always has been an unusual place, sir. It's always been unusual, sir.
I got a picture of Bruce Jenner up there, though.
Yes, back in the day, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you got to realize, sir, a lot of things you see being obvious now, sir, you know, they were closets before, sir. So they always been there, sir.
I even hear Magic Johnson's son may be. Okay, he may be. But go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Well, The Honorable Minister
Somebody
Lewis.
on WVON is gay, but I'm not even gonna call his name, and I even despise listening
Let me ask you
to that
this.
individual.
What's the difference between a gay person and an adulterer? A thief,
Yes,
a
sir.
liar,
Yes, sir.
a fornicator. The Bible says all have fallen short of the glory of God.
Yes, sir.
Now, as natural men, we don't, it's just some things a natural man just not going to do.
No.
That's understood.
Yeah.
But if the water is bombarded with chemical, because they got chemical now in the water that can shrivel up your testicles.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes.
Matter of fact, your water bottle that you use is made primarily with estrogen, the female hormone. And when that water bottle sits in storage for an overdue amount of time, the estrogen that makes up the bottle begins to break down into the water.
Wow.
See, we naive because we can't fathom the depth of the wickedness of Satan. Satan takes a man and make him a woman. Satan takes a woman and make her a man. That's what Satan does. His job was to devour you, to turn you inside out, upside down, so that God would never accept you because you've been touched by and blinded by Satan.
Wow.
You also must bear in mind, sir, they had a show on Channel 11, sir, about this water from Lake Michigan, sir. How they're able to take fecal water, sir, and make it drinking water. And you were saying, oh my goodness, this water is so cold and
sir.
so good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There is, I talk to people on the streets talking about the gay and homosexual lifestyle, and they actually believe that it is okay. It's for a homosexual lesbian couple to adopt a young boy or girl, and I try to inform them what type of messages they're sending to the mind. I want to know, what is y'all opinion about them being able to adopt young, impressionable people?
Well, I would say that, I understand from my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, what makes a man and a woman go that way. A lot of women become lesbians because they were abused by a man when they were young. A lot of men become homosexual because in this world, as a black man, you don't have the power to take care of yourself and be a provider for your family.
Yes,
and since the nature of a woman, she demands from a man, he said. And you can't satisfy that demand, but then you seek refuge and solace in another man. See, we're throwing stones. We're not dealing with the cause. We're only dealing with the effect. It's unnatural for a woman and a woman to be together. So if that's unnatural, then what kind of child, what is that doing? Did you know, and I'm going to be quiet, Doc.
No, you're on the road, sir.
In
Continue,
Haiti,
sir.
you know what was going on? These white groups were going down there and they were adopting little black babies to molest them.
Wow.
It was one of the biggest child abuse centers on the earth.
Wow.
But you don't know that because you keep waiting on ABC and Fox and NBC to tell you the truth, but they're not going to tell it.
Wow.
That's why you should listen to my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, then you will learn.
And those that are in the correctional system, sir, you deprive the man of normal sexuality. And these things you can see, sir. Here's a man can press 300 pounds
Yeah.
and do 1,000 push-ups a day. Mr. T by day and Mrs. Z by night.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. I like that. I like that.
And also, too, you got to look at Christianity. Let's look at the cause. Christianity, the biggest aspect of it is the Catholic Church. So you got the people who are responsible for the shepherd and the stewardship of the people. One is called a nun, which is like zero. Another is called a priest. Both are forbidden to marry and reproduce. So if that's at the top, my God, what do you expect at the bottom?
My last question, and you know what, did not Allah, God, destroy a whole city, Babylon? And damn, I forgot the other one. Babylon, for the wicked and decadent lifestyles they live. In my Quran it says homosexuality. That was an aspect. Did he not destroy these cities? We only got 2
Sodom
minutes.
and Gomorrah
Yeah.
is like a little city. You got a whole nation that lives like that. And if he destroys Sodom and Gomorrah, and to this very minute, a blade of grass will not grow in that area, what do you think is his chastisement for here?
You got to bear in mind, Ferry money brought Obama to power, sir. He's not bothering Tinkerbell or anyone, sir.
We got, oh man, you know what? Time went by so fast. And you know what? I have to give them the finishing comments because perhaps it's a specific message that they want to give out to the people. Because you need to have these men and gentlemen on your show. Please, thank you.
Justice or else, that's where we at. We've tried everything. We've done everything. We've sat in, waded in, begged in, crawled in, slept in, ate in. We've done everything. Maybe we should try, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is saying to us, the power of our unity, and go and demand justice or else.
Yes, sir. Your location and your telephone number and the same
You
thing.
can reach me at area code 888-724-2960. Again, that's 888-724-2960.
Okay, Nation of Islam on Sundays, I think at
10 a.m. Doors open at 9:30, 7351 South Stony Island.
please.
Yes, the diabolical behavior of the European Americans are leading to a race war. My contact information, the underground.
And I want to thank you, for y'all coming on the show, and y'all did an excellent job. And when this will, inshallah, be posted on YouTube, and I will make you aware when it's posted. And I just say to the listening audience, you need to make every attempt to have these individuals that are sitting in the guest chairs on the Underground Railroad to have them come close circuit and come on your show and invite them out and have them come and speak to enlighten the people, because
it may come a time when we can't do this, sir, because they still remember Allah Tola.
Yes, sir.
Huh? You want to set our red on fire, sir.
Yes, sir. But you need to invite them out and have them on your shows, and you need to have them on your television shows. You need to invite them, these gentlemen, out to lectures to speak truth, because they're speaking truth where power, the big power, wants us to say nothing. And our praise is due to Allah, and the good things that came from me came from Allah, and the bad things that came from me came from myself. So may Allah forgive me if it's bad that came out of me. So I want you to continue watching the Underground Railroad. We come on every Saturday night at 10:30. Please give y'all contact information one more time.
So,
Go ahead, Dr.
the underground.
888-724-2960.
Okay, and I want to say assalamu alaikum to everybody, and I just humbly say the people that's in the pool rooms, whatever, at your home, thank you for letting us be in your homes on the internet with you for a half an hour, 15 minutes, or even 2 minutes, as long as you got some type of knowledge, and pass this on. And have these individuals that have the ability to come on y'all shows so they can disseminate, give information that will help people. Assalamu alaikum.